Let's talk about the shipping times in dropshipping. One of the biggest concerns most people have while starting out, because I actually do get it. You personally would never wait for a product for 30 days and actually would see that as a good thing and be happy with the delivery. And you expect other people to feel the same. And yes, for most people this is actually the case. And I'm going to present a lot of alternatives here on how to actually go about dropshipping without having terrible delivery times. However, before I get started with this, ask yourself, did I ever have a sale? And if no, then this doesn't matter. Just trust me on this. There are other options out there, period. That's it. You don't need to know anything more. Make your first sales and after that, worry about the shipping. Because this is one of those things where most beginners are like, fuck, I'm gonna have to fulfill orders for 30 days and everybody's gonna be super unhappy, so let me not start at all. This is not true, this is complete bullshit. If you do it the right way, you're gonna be able to do it faster and that's it. Don't worry about problems which you don't have. You don't even have your first order, so don't worry about your fulfillment. Now that being said, let's talk about the things you actually need to have in place to have really good shipping times. So the number one thing is you need to be careful. There's a lot of scammers out there who actually want to just rip you off and don't fulfill the orders properly, have terrible shipping times, have terrible quality, or don't even send out the orders and just put in fake tracking numbers until you notice, and until then you already paid them a bunch of money. A bunch of those things actually happened to me, and I got scammed big times by suppliers, and I've heard a lot of horror stories about that. So you need to be very careful with people who tell you unrealistic things or don't have a proven track record of really good reviews on Aliexpress or stuff like that. And also private agents, just random people off the internet, I would not trust them if they're not a recommendation. So if you just find a random guy in the Facebook group or somewhere who tells you I'm gonna fulfill your orders, the first natural response to that is gonna be, I don't trust you, I need to be proven that you're legit. This is the very first response you should have. Okay? The second pitfall you're going to have is thinking that you need to fulfill from the US. So for example, you're going to sell to the US and you're going to think, all right, I need to find a supplier who already is in the US. I'm just going to fulfill it through some kind of warehouse. And that way my shipping times are going to be way better. My customers are going to be happy and that's it. This is a big mistake because you only have two options here. Either you buy in bulk and send it to the US, or you get some kind of warehouse which is way overpriced and start to work with them and kind of fulfill order by order, and you're just gonna overpay every single time if you start out that way, okay? So don't even think about US suppliers. Get that out of your head 100%. You will start with Chinese suppliers no matter what, and later on, after you have a proven track record of your product doing a bunch of sales, you can trust yourself to order in bulk to the US and have a warehouse to fulfill everything properly. So a good supplier from China should have 1 to 2 week shipping times, all right? This is totally manageable. Nobody's gonna go crazy over that. It's not 30 days, it's 1 to 2 weeks, it's fine. You don't even need to think about you competing with Amazon, which most beginners are also like. If somebody can buy it from Amazon for cheaper and I'm selling it more expensive with worse shipping times, why the fuck would they buy from me? This is a question which is commonly asked by beginners, but the answer is, I don't care, they just do, and that's it, don't worry about it, all right? People buy the closest thing they see. If most people see a Facebook ad about a product, they're not gonna double check on Amazon. They're not gonna do all of this. And just because you're this one spy who's gonna find out the perfect price, it doesn't mean that everybody does. And the sales prove that, all right? For me, I have this concept in my head that people want cheaper and faster things. Makes sense from Amazon. However, then I also see a bunch of dropshipping stores for myself and my students crushing it and doing a crazy amount of money. And I'm like, all right, but who cares about my opinion? If I think that way, that doesn't mean anything, all right? So this is just something you need to get out of your head. How we do it in the program is we have private agents who have those 1 to 2 week shipping times, and you don't even need minimum order quantity. So you just literally can start without a single sale with my suppliers because they know that people in my program actually get to scaling and they trust them way more because they are coming through me as a recommendation, and it's fine. Okay? However, most suppliers outside of this program are going to want a minimum order quantity. So if you're starting out by yourself without having any trusted one supplier and you don't want to use Aliexpress, I would highly recommend you using CJ Dropshipping. By far the best place out there if you don't have a private agent. Now, obviously, to get this straight, it's very important to get good customer service. However, again, you need to look at everything on the grand scheme of things. And you need to understand that if you're actually serious and you want to do at least hundreds of thousands of dollars with this, you understand that you're going to have thousands of orders, all right? In comparison to thousands of people who are going to buy from you, the first couple of people don't matter that much. And this might sound harsh, but you need to understand your first priority is always making profits. And if you want to make profits, you need to focus on getting sales. Only after you have the sales, you're going to start worrying about the fulfillment, all right? I cannot emphasize this enough because you're going to stress yourself out over everything. You're going to start making a store and already have questions about scaling. This is complete bullshit because you shouldn't have any questions about anything which is not a real problem right now. This is actually the real issue most people have. You're just paralyzed by analyzing everything you see, all those issues which are laying ahead, but in reality, they're not your problems. They're your problems in the future. All right? And this is something which most people don't tell us. Like, if you're a kid, everybody tells you you should rather focus on things which are going to be a problem later now, because you should get rid of that problem as quick as possible and then have your safe peace of mind. In business, this doesn't work that way because your problems now are 1,000 times more important than your problems later because that's your problem now. And you cannot solve everything at the same time because you will quit. And that's the issue. Most people just try and quit and move on to the next business model, and the same thing happens over and over again. They just jump around from business to business to business, and in the end, they haven't made things work. If you want to have a proper guideline from A to Z, how to start dropshipping, how to get profitable, how to make everything right, you can actually click the link below, sign up for a free consultation session with me personally, and I'm gonna tell you already, this is not easy. This is not a place where you're gonna get involved with me as a mentor and you don't have anything to do. I will tell you what to do and you will have to do it, all right? And I'm telling you, it's not gonna be easy because my tasks are very demanding. I want you to do the things properly and I'm not gonna hand you anything because if I just give you a winning product, give you the perfect ad, tell you exactly, this is not how it works because you're not gonna learn anything from that. You need to learn from me telling you what to do and you implementing that. So if you understand that, if you actually do wanna work with me, click the link below and talk to you there.